Greetings everybody and welcome back to the channel. The idea behind today's video was to shed some light on bands that sound similar to some legacy bands, and we're starting this one off with none other than Black Sabbath. And this is kind of a guide that I wish that I had when I got into metal. I liked certain bands, but then I was recommended something that was perhaps too different from the thing that I actually liked. So hopefully you'll discover something here today that you haven't heard before. And Black Sabbath is of course a band with a long career with different eras and singers. But when we talk about the sound of Black Sabbath, I think that most of us think of a down-tuned and heavy sound. Doomy riffs, nasal vocals, at least under the Ozzy era. An eerie sound with some blues, jazz and psychedelic influences, especially early on in their career. But I also see them as the grandfathers of doom and heavy metal. And now it's time for us to check out some bands that sounds just like Black Sabbath. First out we have the American doom metal band Pentagram. They formed back in 1971. And they released their debut single back in 1973. But despite releasing a few singles throughout the 70s, it took them until 1985 when they finally released their self-titled full-length debut album. Pentagram is a legendary doom metal band with several great releases, but they always remained somewhat in the shadows of Black Sabbath. They had a ton of lineup changes, and vocalist Bobby Liebling has been the constant member despite his serious drug addiction. So, let's listen to Pentagram's Sign of the Wolf from 1985. The next band that sounds like Black Sabbath is Electric Wizard from the UK. They debuted back in 1994, and they are heavily influenced by Black Sabbath. The kind of occult psychedelic side of Black Sabbath, that is. And now we're going to listen to the title track from the 2007 album, Witch Cult Today. Our third band here today is Orchid from San Francisco, and they are the newest band out of these five because they formed in 2006. And we're going to listen to the song Eyes Behind the Wall from their 2011 debut album Capricorn. Enjoy. Next up is the American doom metal band The Obsessed. They were active throughout the 80s and they recorded a couple of demos and a single, but it wasn't until 1990 when they finally released their debut album, and we're going to listen to it in just a moment. They were one of the first Sabbath-esque doom metal bands on the American continent. And now we're going to check out the track River of Soul from their 1990 self-titled debut album. Our fifth Sabbath-sounding band is America's Saint Vitus. They were one of the first bands that kinda rejuvenated the Sabbath sound in the early to mid-80s. And here's the track Trail of Pestilence from their 7th studio album Die Healing, which came out in 1995. And that's the 5 bands that sounds just like Black Sabbath. But if you have more examples, then feel free to share those in the comment section below. And there were of course other bands that I considered, everyone from Candlemass to Witchfinder General, Count Raven and Pagan Altar. And if you're interested in hearing those and several other bands that sounds just like Black Sabbath, then I've compiled a Spotify playlist, and you can find it down in the description below. And I didn't include bands like Ozzy Osbourne, Dio, Tony Martin, Geezer Butler or the Tony Iommi solo albums in this video, but those are of course recommended for any fans of the Black Sabbath vibe. But feel free to share your opinions on these 5 bands or give me an example of a band that you think sounds just like Black Sabbath down in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. My future plans include videos about 5 bands that sounds just like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, so if you don't want to miss out on that, you should definitely hit that bell icon as well. And if you want to go the extra mile to support my work, which would be great, since I don't make a cent from using copyrighted music in my videos, then you should consider becoming a Patreon today, like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.